Hi y'all, welcome to the Mighty Bujo. I'm Allison, and today we are going to draw a Christmas scene in 3D using one vanishing point. So this will be a perspective drawing, and it will help you figure out what angles to use when drawing a 3D room image, whatnot. So we're going to start by putting a horizontal line up a bit from the center of your page. And that will be the horizon. And then you put a dot in the middle of your horizon, and this becomes your vanishing point. Now, since it's on the folds of the book, I put mine a little bit to the right. And you begin with drawing your back wall of the room. And that's just a big rectangle with your vanishing point in the center. And now to do a tabletop, starting from your vanishing point, draw a diagonal line down to the edge of your page. And then you draw your horizontals in between your guidelines. And that gives you the length. And then just trace your guideline for the edge of your table. And you add the legs by simply doing perpendicular lines to your tabletop. And add the third one for the inside view of the table leg. And then erase your guidelines, otherwise it gets a little confusing. And a second horizontal line gives you the edge of your table. Now to do our side wall, just start at your vanishing point, take it up to your corner of your back wall, and draw your line. And now you've got your left and right walls. So we have the basics, we've got our room set up, and we've got our table, and now we can add some things to it. So this is a roll of wrapping paper. I used the vanishing point to make sure I had the right angle and perspective for the roll of paper. And then just kind of drew it out to where it looks like the roll is open. And then added another one next to it, using just a curved line for the end of the roll. And here, I started to draw a box, but I wasn't quite sure, so we're going to abandon this and come back to it in just a moment. Instead, we'll do our floorboards. So what you're going to do is have evenly spaced tick marks, and I'm doing every other dot in the Leuchtturm. And you start at your vanishing point. Your ruler's up at the vanishing point, and you start your line, goes through your tick mark, and you just extend it on the floor. And this will space your boards and have them at the correct angle. And this is where you can really see that it's all in perspective and it looks really cool. So as your eye goes to the edge of the page, your boards get thinner. So basically how the vanishing point works is when you look at a scene, you're looking straight on. So you get the angles to your left and right. So anything that is going to be viewed head on, you square it off to the page. For example, the table legs. And for our window on the back wall, see, we're looking straight at it. So we just do standard regular horizontal lines. And then keeping it symmetrical from the sides of the walls. And then add a little Christmas tree outside, or an evergreen. And then now we want to mark off where a wreath is going to go. Since we'll be looking at it from the side, I marked some guidelines on where to draw my oval. And it was quite easy to just draw a letter C in there. And on this page, on this side, I'm marking off where I want a Christmas tree. So anything that's going to be at an angle, your left or right from the center of the page, you will start your ruler at your vanishing point and then draw your guideline out. So now we're going to put some cubes or packages on the table. So our lost my mind. Sorry. Okay, so the box in front is a regular square. The side of the box is where we use the vanishing point. So see, you take your ruler up to the center. We'll be doing another one, I can explain it. So here we go, there's the side of it. Now the front is head on, so it's just a regular horizontal line and a regular box in the front of the image. And then for the side, we use our vanishing point and draw our angle on the side. My ruler wasn't lined up perfectly, so you can see where it's off just a smidge, but it's not enough to make a difference. And then we're gonna do a give back here. So straight up and down, and straight, because this is the side that we're looking at directly. And then for the side view, we make our line from the vanish point. So you can draw the guidelines, or you could just do the line without it. And then you connect the side lines with a straight horizontal line. It's kind of confusing to explain. Easy to do, but trying to explain it. So here we've got one that's not squared to the front of the table. So I just drew my V on how I wanted it, and then my perpendicular line straight up, and then went back to my vanishing point to get the angle for the sides of the box. And then you just connect all your little lines. And where they intersect, that's where your box ends. Now I did draw this dark because, as you can tell with all the guidelines and everything, it can get a little confusing sometimes on what lines to erase. And down here, we're just drawing a pair of scissors. Start with two ovals and then kind of trace around it and bring it up. And we'll put a little tape dispenser here. And since it's in the front, we can erase the box behind. And then just add some zigzags for some tissue paper. Which is another thing I had trouble with last year. And then the lid. So now for a bow, do like an arch and a circle, and then just connect them and do a little line for the 3D look. And then add your ribbon. Over here will be a floor lamp. Just do an ellipse, which has got flattened oval. And then your pull up, and then just play with your shapes a little bit. And we need an outlet, so we go back to our vanishing point, because we're going to be looking at this outlet from an angle. And then our straight up and down lines, you just connect them. So now I chose to ignore the guidelines on the tree and rounded it out on the bottom. I think if I would have erased the guidelines first, I might have left the bottom, but that's okay because a Christmas tree is going to have its own shape anyway. A little spool of ribbon. And then we'll add one more roll of wrapping paper. Oh, well, in a minute I will. First we'll do the garland on the tree and just some circles for where the ornaments will go. And just kind of scatter those around. And then a star on the top of our tree. And we'll frame out the window. Now on the window frame, all I did was repeat my rectangle at the next, it's a dot away from the original. Now before you paint, you're definitely going to want to erase your dark marks, but before I do that, I decided to add a baseboard. And instead of using the vanishing point again on the side walls, I just kind of eyeballed it up above from the original floor line. But since we added a baseboard, the outlet needs to move up. So just do it one more time using the vanishing point, and then you connect your lines. And it is as simple as that. And then you get a beautiful scene with everything being in the right perspective. And erase all your guidelines before you begin to paint. And here it is. There's the final product. I hope you learned something from this. And whoa, that went quick. If you'd like to see how I painted it, don't forget to check out the companion video. Thanks for watching. I'll check y'all next time. Bye now.